If you want to be a millionaire, start with $1 billion and launch a new airline. A famous quote by Richard Branson from Virgin Air, and it clearly reflects the business model that a traditional airline follows. Traditional airlines employ what we call a hub and spoke model, in which they invest large sums of money in hub airports and force traffic through those airports. All their offerings include food, entertainment, seating choices, all kinds of things that we can think about. Herb Keller, this colorful lawyer from Texas, well known for his pranks, stunts, and outrageous behaviors, changed the face of the whole airline industry when he came up with a simple vision. If you get your passengers to their destinations when they want to get there, on time, at the lowest possible fares, and make darn sure they have a good time doing it, people will fly your airline. It led to the birth of the first low-cost airline, what we know today as SouthWest Airline. SouthWest Airline had a simple business proposition. Point-to-point airline with no frills attached and low cost for fares. This graph is trying to show the business propositions of the two models that we just discussed. The blue line is the business proposition of SouthWest Airline, and the red one is the business proposition for a traditional airline. Through the value proposition the Southwest has, they're able to meet the needs of the economy customer in a much better manner than the other business model. What we're showing here is a period between 1978 and 2001 where Southwest faced some of the major challenges in their history. It was in 1978 they had their first flight up in the air after facing litigations for 3.5 years. And it was only through Herb Keller's warrior spirit and persistence that they were able to overcome this challenge. Their battles didn't stop here. They've had a brutal price war with their competitors, where they ended up selling whiskey with an air ticket as well. It was only through this out-of-the-box solution that they were able to overcome this specific challenge. Their model was unique and attractive for the market, and there were a lot of people over there to imitate them. But nobody was successful in this, because it was only Southwest's unique culture that they were able to keep going with this specific model. They faced a real challenge when 9/11 happens. In the aftermath of 9/11, the whole industry went down, but it was only the low-cost airlines like Southwest that were up in the air and had a huge demand at that time. It was in 2001, at the peak of his career, when somebody else would have held on to the power, Herb Keller decided to let go of the reins and pick up a successor. We just shared with you some of the challenges that Southwest faced between 1978 and 2001. And when we look at these challenges in detail, we see that it was only through their operational agility were they able to overcome all of these challenges. And we identified 4 key traits that allowed them to be this agile. The first one being standardization. Standardized operating assets and processes help them not just to reduce cost, but also become very flexible as an organization. There is a homogeneous fleet of Boeing 737s, there are no frills, and only one-class flying experience. All of this resulted in allowing them to reduce their maintenance costs and all kinds of overheads, and made them more flexible for cruise and flight schedules. The leadership, the larger-than-life co-founder Herb Keller, strongly influenced the culture that Southwest had. His philosophy was based on preparing for all kinds of scenarios, a bias for quick action, and a focus on customers and employees, which we call the people-first philosophy. The trait that makes them agile is their first-mover advantage. They were the first ones to introduce the point-to-point, low-cost operating model. The first one to provide a no-frill service actually worked to their advantage in terms of lower customer expectations and thus higher satisfactions. Years down the line, they were the first to leverage the online world as a distribution channel as well. Last but not the least is the unique Southwest culture that differentiates Southwest from its competitors, and it gives it the much valued agility. A fun work environment, an egalitarian attitude, and a constant desire to be the best induced extreme dedication, passion, and loyalty amongst its employees. These employees are even willing to undergo voluntary pay cuts to save the company. This is the kind of culture that Herb Keller induced in Southwest. And this culture truly makes Southwest a unique company, and it is the best trait that stands out. Here's a glimpse of what we're talking about.
Stay on beat there. There you go. Keep that going. This is Flight 372 on SWA. The flight attendants on board serving you today. Teresa in the middle, David in the back. My name is David, and I'm here to tell you that shortly after takeoff, first things first, there's soft drinks and coffee to quench